Questions for Coach?
How nice is it to come out with a Paradise Jam tournament championship?
Yeah, just really happy for the guys because we started the trip obviously playing a really good team on the road in Davidson. I thought that's probably as well as Davidson's played all year. And we didn't handle it very well. And to the guys' credit, and again, they're inexperienced, they're young, they're trying to figure things out, but for whatever reason, it kind of – a 2-hour film session then kind of – as I told them, I'm like, guys, I'm not going away. So if we're going to play like this, you're going to get – this is the me you're going to get for 2 hours after a game like this. So if you want this, then just keep doing what you're doing or you change things. And they just went to the island, and Jazz and Jalen were tremendous in their leadership. I thought they were very vocal in their leadership. And, when we got to the island, we'd taken no charges and attempted 3 on the season. And we left the island with 12 attempts, and we took 4 or 5 charges, I think 5 charges. So just defensively, I thought we grew up a lot. And then offensively, we moved the ball, we took good shots, and we made shots. We shot the ball extremely well, but we had the thing going inside out and doing the things that we want to do offensively. So it was 3 really good games. You go to a tournament, an MTE event, you win it is one thing. You win it by an average of 18 points when you just got beat 20 3 nights earlier. It says a lot about what this team can do when they're concentrating and focused.
Well, how would you describe the version of you that you showed them after the Davidson game?
Like any coach that's not happy about getting beat 20 points. It's you got our defensive efficiency was 120 maybe. Our offensive efficiency was probably in the 90s at Davidson. So, it was a game that just wasn't. We turned the ball over 21 times. And we didn't guard anybody. So it was nothing like what we wanted to look like. Now, to the guys' defense, a lot of them were playing their very first road game, so I get that. But they needed to see it, and they've been seeing it all year in losses. But this one took on a little bit new meaning because we were on a 10-day trip together. So you get more time with the guys that way. And so it was really just about 2 hours of Coach Neal and I pointing out every mistake. And it's like, guys, we were players first. Is this fun? Or is it more fun to do it the right way, win games, and the film sessions are shorter? So and we talked to the guys once we got to the island. It was, you got to really understand losing before you can appreciate winning. And we've spent a lot of time on this road trip really talking to them about that losing's got to hurt, and how you lose has got to be figured out. Why you lost has got to be figured out, and then you'll really appreciate how fun winning is.
What was the thing you're most proud of, just to see them rebound like that and react and respond the way you wanted?
It's probably just that you come off a 20-point loss where you have not played well on really either side of on the basketball, especially defensively, and you've come off 2 straight losses because you lost to SC and then you lose to Davidson. So you've lost 2 in a row by double-figure points, and you got to go to the island and now win 3 games in 3 days. That's not easy. So it's probably more than what we did offensively, more than what we did defensively, was just a group of guys that had come off back-to-back losses, figuring it out, against another A-10 opponent, and then, happened to beat Valpo, who had only lost 1 game, and then Bowling Green, who upset Cincinnati. It was just one game after another of the guys just, hey, we're going to take this, we're going to do this, we're going to do – and so it was really the ability of being beaten twice pretty soundly to now figure out not just win a game but win a tournament. That spoke volumes to us. And we can go back and use this in March, and we talked to the guys about it. That this is a fun championship. We put it away now, but when March comes back around, there may be other teams in our conference that can say the same, but we're at least going to be able to say that when we get to Vegas in March, we've won a 3-game tournament. And so we know what that's about. So we'll bring this back up once we get back to Vegas for the tournament.
And you get 8 days off. Is that a good thing that you guys had so much time off, or would you have liked to?
Well, we'll find out on Wednesday. We're playing a very good team in Santa Clara who's 8-1. Their only loss is Stanford. They're playing Herb. Obviously, I've had a lot of respect for Herb over the years, and he's playing a lot faster than he normally does. And so they're an exciting team to watch. They're really good inside out. They're guarding people. So this is a great challenge for us. But I do think it came at a good time because it was a long trip. 10 days is a long time. And then getting back from the Virgin Islands took us all day. It was a 14-hour journey getting back here. We had to stop twice, so it was long. So we gave the guys Wednesday and Thursday off, practice Friday, Saturday, then took Sunday off, and then we'll go Monday, Tuesday. So, and we got to get those guys rest because we're really playing 8, 9 guys. So I think the rest came at a good time because unlike a lot of teams, you know, we ended up playing 8 games. I think we told our guys we played 5 games in maybe, I don't know, 10, 11 days, however the calendar goes. Now we're going to play 5 games in like 22, 23 days. So now the schedule widens out a little bit. That stretch in November was going to be very difficult on an inexperienced team. So I think it came at a good time, but hopefully we can keep building on what we did in the island.
Do you think the guys kind of found their identity at the Paradise Jam?
Well, not yet. Not yet, but for those 3 games, that's how we've got to play. And most importantly, we've handled the ball pretty well. For an inexperienced team, the bright spot really through 8 games was how we've handled the ball other than what happened at Davidson. But we've really handled the ball pretty well. We just haven't understood shot selection. In the islands, we took care of the basketball. We only averaged like maybe 10, 11 turnovers for the tournament, and we shot a high percentage, and our bad shots went way down. So offensively, we grew up in that we took care of the ball and we took good shots. And now, because of that, we scored. But I think where the real growing up took place was defensively. We started committing to what we're trying to do defensively of helping each other and getting away from self and helping each other. We were much more vocal, and I think so it was a trip where I think we grew up in a lot of ways, but 3 games doesn't create or establish an identity. We've got to have some consistency in can we play like that very consistently week to week. And I told the guys we got a huge ceiling. There's a great ceiling that this team has if we continue to work, continue to concentrate and focus on that. Now, if we don't do those things, you know, that ceiling starts to drop, you know, because now we're in December. You know, we started back in September, and you know now 2.5 months are gone. You know, so we got to continue to progress. And this is a huge week because we've got a Santa Clara team that's 8-1, and then we start league play, you know, noon on Saturday. So it's a big week for us before we get into the following week.
What is the challenge of going into conference play just for a 1-game period and then coming back out? Because those are a little bit more important.
Yeah, it's hard, and I don't know if I've, you know, I'm trying to think over my career. Which is 29 years now, if I've had that, and maybe they have, Chris, I'm not for sure, but I can't remember playing a league game this early. So it's new for us, and especially knowing you got a bye week. So we basically, the Santa Clara game is a bye date because the league starts on Wednesday. So that's weird getting a bye week in the first week that you can play that happens to be early. You know, so most of the conference is opening up on Wednesday, and we don't open up till Saturday. But so it's pivotal that we kind of do the things we got to do, and hopefully we have success against Santa Clara because then it's a very quick turnaround. We'll have to leave on Thursday because we play at noon on Saturday. So not easy travel, and we'll stay out on the road because we go to BYU from there, and then finals start right after BYU. So it's a tough 10-day stretch of 2 really good non-conference opponents, and sandwiched in as the opener of your league play. And you get a chance to try to get a league road win before league play starts the 1st of January. So the last thing you want to do is sit on an 0-1 for 3 weeks. You'd like to sit on a 1-0 for 3 weeks, but we got to get to that point first. Santa Clara's got to be first.
Seems like Santa Clara has a pretty good amount of size and talented size.
They do. Well, what they've got is very good balance. They've got bigs that can both post and shoot the ball on the perimeter. It's a 3-point shooting team. A lot of guys shooting over 35% from 3. Their bigs can stretch it and shoot it, but their bigs are very good in the post. So I think that's one of the reasons why their offense has been so good. They're good inside and out. Very good guard play. Got a couple really good transfers that are playing now. So this has been on tape. This is a very good-looking team, and we know we're going to have to play very well.
Your 3-point shooting at the Paradise Jam, was that surprising at all? I know you were high on the shooting ability of this team. But
no, because I think we've said all along, I think I said even as early as September, just watching them through the summer, that this team has a chance to be a really good shooting team. The difference is that we started the year taking a lot of bad shots. And I don't care how good a shooter you are, if you take bad shots, your percentage is going to go down. So a lot of our guys got off some tough starts just because – and some of the guys are in different roles. You know, you look at Jazz. That's why I told him how proud I am of him. he was basically run to the wing, run to the corner, and he's getting driving kicks in his old system in that role because of the vets that he had here. Now he's kind of the marked guy, and we're asking him to run off screens. So it's a different kind of catch shoot. You got pivots involved. You got driving kicks involved. You got a lot of different things involved, and he's done a tremendous job of shooting the ball. But it's become contagious. I think Jalen's shooting much better shots. All of our guys, Niz is off to a good start because he's taking really good shots. He can shoot the basketball. He's like everybody else. If you take bad shots, a lot of them don't go in. And I thought on this road trip, especially on the island, we did a better job of getting good shots.
Your three-point defense has been really good outside of Davidson. Is that kind of like goal number one for you guys defensively, or does it depend on?
It's a huge piece of what we want to do, especially in the world of analytics. That if you're giving up wide open threes, that's a dangerous to your defense. And I thought that's as good as we've been in practice or in games on the island of how we defended the three-point line and defended the basket. I thought we did a really good job of defending the basket and the three-point line, and that's going to have to be something we have to continue to do. One thing we're not doing offensively is getting to the line. So there's a lot of maturity that still has to happen of putting people in tough positions defensively to where we're getting some free points at the free throw line.
When Jalen plays like he did over there, what does that do for the rest of the team?
Well, it's huge. And again, we haven't had for first really 3 or 4 games, he wasn't tremendously healthy. Got hurt in the first game, didn't play in the second, comes back in the third, which I give him a lot of credit for that, but wasn't 100% really until we left for Davidson. So he didn't get the the games that the other guys got, but he's just very, very talented. He's got a high basketball IQ. He helps us defensively. He's a good rebounder, really passes the ball well, and I think he's an elite scorer. So, and we can play him all over the court. We'll see him we'll play him at the point some, we'll play him at the big guard some, so we can play him. And when we go 4 guards, he's our 4-man. So Jalen's playing about 4 different positions for us, and as he continues to get healthier and healthier, and I thought he was, you had MVPs in that tournament. You had him, and the next in line would have been Jazz. So they both came from our team. So I thought both he and Jad had tremendous Paradise Jam, and I think we had some bigs that really grew up a lot in that jam as well.
With Jalen and Jazz both, 100% fully healthy, how does Lindsey? What do you want from him on offense? Do you still want him to be aggressive, or would you prefer him to?
I want them all to be aggressive, but yeah, Lindsey has to be aggressive because it's not like a team that he was on 2 years ago at Nevada. He's not just a facilitator. He's got a. He looked at me once, and I told him, I can't remember how much time was left in the game. I go, "You got to rebound." And after the game, he said, "Coach, you told me I had to rebound. I had 10. I'm like, "Yeah, so get 12. You got to do more of those things. It's like, and he is doing a lot of great things for us, but it just depends on what kind of team you're on. But this isn't a team of 2 years ago. This is a completely different, young, inexperienced team. So Lindsey's going to have to score more. Lindsey's going to have to rebound more. He's going to have to defend more. He's going to have to play more. We're asking him to play thereabouts of 30 minutes. That has not been Lindsey at any year at Nevada. So his minutes are up, his responsibilities are up, but that's what happens when you become juniors and seniors. But again, he's no different than like a Jazz. They're all in different roles, so it's going to take them some time to understand that. But I thought Lindsey was really good on the island. I thought his minutes were really, really good.
You mentioned charges taken or attempted. Why is that such a big stat to you? Because you mentioned it a lot. Does it just show?
Well, because unless you're blocking 6, 7, 8 shots a game, which we're not that kind of shot blocking team, you got to have some kind of rim presence. You got to protect the paint. So if you're not protecting it by blocking shots, you got to protect it by taking charges. If you don't do either one of those things, then teams continue mentally and physically to put the rim on attack. And if the rim's being on attack, your defense is going to break down a lot. So the breakdowns that we saw in our first 5 games had a lot to do with that. The teams were getting too many easy baskets, and we have to be able to defend the 3 and defend the rim and make those shots difficult. If teams are making pull-up 2s and they make them, we live with that. But easy, uncontested layups or uncontested 3s, that can't have anything to do with our defense.
What have you thought of your bigs, and has anybody kind of emerged for you to where you?
Well, I think KJ's making strides. If you look at KJ early season, he was fouling about 2 times every minute. So he's made tremendous strides. He's not getting in foul trouble. He's defending better. He's really worked on that. His offense is coming around. I think by the time he gets out here, he's going to be a really good offensive player. So I've liked what he's done. And then JC's had some adversity hit him, and yet through the adversity, he's really played well. And adversity, I mean foul trouble, and really played well for us at both ends. And then I thought Zane had a great Paradise Jam. I thought he did a lot of positive things for us offensively, and he's growing defensively. And Robbie continues to do the things that we need for him to do. Be a very solid defender, be a rebounder, move the ball. He can really pass the ball well. So I thought all four of those bigs grew up a lot on this trip.
How different do you think your team is for this home game as the last time you guys played at Lawler?
4 more games, just 4 more games under our belt. When you got 4 games to start the season, 2 of them are against Pac-12 opponents. That's a lot to throw at a team, those 4 games in basically 13 days. So just to get away from here, watch a lot of film, learn, and then have some success to where these guys can see that, hey, we can do some things. If we do what we're supposed to do, we're going to be set up to where we can win some games. It's just we can't deviate from it, start taking bad shots, being careless, not thinking about somebody else defensively. If we do those things, we'll be pretty good. If we're concentrating on the wrong things, then we're like a lot of teams in the country. We're not going to be very good.
You mentioned Jazz being a marked guy. How important and impressive is it, even though he's taking a high volume of threes, he's still hitting near 50%?
Oh, he's got to continue to take a high volume. That's who he is. I think he's one of the best shooters in the country, and he's proven that. He's gotten off to a great start, so we want him taking – I told him, I said, you got to at least be getting 10 threes up a game. And so his teammates know that. His teammates are doing a good job of finding him, doing a good job of screening for him. But he can really shoot the ball with distance, and analytically it's good, and it stretches our offense. So it makes the defense have to come out and guard us. People are spending a lot of time focusing on him. I think that's why it opens up things more for Lindsey. It opens up more things for Jalen, and then guys like Niz are getting open shots, and he's making shots, and it's going to open up more things for our bigs because of all the attention. We've already had 2 teams face guard Lindsey and try to take him out of it, and face guard Jazz to try to take him out of it. So, we see how teams are going to try to defend our guards, but what it does, it opens up things for other people. You can't just face guard 5 people. You're going to pick your poison, and we've got to be able to read off of that, and Jazz has done a good job with that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Questions for Jim?
What did you learn about the team with the Paradise Jam championship?
I learned that we're resilient and we're willing to grow. We came off of 2 tough losses, and to bounce back and come back and win the whole tournament, that's growth. And so I'm just happy for us to do that and looking for us to keep taking the next step.
Coach talked about a different version of him after the Davidson loss. I guess what version of him did you guys see after losing by 20?
Well, not the nice version. He definitely, we locked in more. He was on us, and we didn't practice much over the Virgin Islands, but we had a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of more attention to detail things for us, and I feel like that helped a lot.
Did you guys prove anything to yourself? I mean, he's talked a lot about the high ceiling of this team. Did that kind of show you guys what you're capable of if you do defend and rebound and then hit your threes?
Yeah, it does. It's definitely good for us, and we feel good about it to be able to go out there and defend like the way we have goals every game before each game, and to be able to hit those goals and to see us hit them, like you can see the excitement and the energy from the guys.
This is his first home game in a long time. How do you feel like this team is different for this home game as opposed to the last time you played at Lawler?
Like I said, we just feel like we grew over this past 10-day stretch that we were gone. To be able to play on the road, to get that experience, to play at neutral site games, to not have your fans here to support you. Like we learned how to play together more, to be one, and so we look to bring that here Wednesday and to continue to grow.
Have you liked the little break, the 8 days off, or would you guys have just kept playing based on how well you were playing?
Personally, I would say I would want to play every day. Like, I didn't play last year at all. So that's a big, I tell them all the time, I don't like the breaks, but it's good for us to get some time off and then to get back in the gym and just work on ourselves.
How encouraging is it that after a tough film session like that after Davidson that you guys can then string together 3 wins? Is that something that you think you guys can rely on the next time you do get a loss?
Yeah, next time we go through some things, we definitely can. We'll know how to bounce back. We'll know how to grow from it and, just look to learn to keep taking the next steps.
How do you feel you've taken on more of a leadership role the past few weeks?
Just trying to be there for my teammates, trying to be as encouraging and as much of a teacher, because we don't have many vets, we don't have many older guys, and so to just try to help whoever I can, each step of the way is a big thing.
What have you seen from Santa Clara as you guys get ready for Wednesday?
They play hard, they're well coached, they got good inside presence. We just, like I said, we look to go out there and just play our game, lock up on defense and score on offense. And so that's what we plan to be us, and that doesn't change. So.
Coach said an identity isn't really formed over 3 games. I guess what do you think he wants the identity of this team to be over the long haul?
We all look for it to be toughness. We'll have to be the toughest team out there a lot of nights. We won't be the biggest, the strongest, the fastest, or the most experienced team. But we have to be tougher than our opponents every day.
Got Mountain West play opening up later in the week. You guys are going to go on the road. I mean, do conference games feel a little bit differently? Are they a little bit more important because there's a championship at the end of that tunnel if you take care of business?
Definitely. Like I said, even through the Paradise Jam, the goal is to win the championship. And so when we go on the conference, that's our goal. We take every game, one game at a time, but it's ultimately to win a championship.
How much have you been watching other Mountain West teams and kind of seeing where the conference stacks up right now?
I've been watching them. I've been keeping my eye on them. It's a good conference, a couple good teams in there especially, but like I said, my focus is more on helping my team, helping our team build and becoming the best that we can be.
You got a lot of shooters on this team, but when it comes to Jazz Johnson, with the high volume he takes, and he's still able to get like 50% almost from deep, what does that do for that team that you've seen?
Man, it's Jazz. All of our shooters, between him and Niz and Zane, even Kane, guys can get them up and hit them at a good rate, and so it helps me out, it helps the team out, it spreads the floor, it gets us our energy up, gets us going, and it's just fun to play with. It's fun to be around.
Thanks, Jalen.